What's going on, everybody? We've got a 2017 Infiniti QX60. You all know I love Infinitis and Nissans, greatest things in the world to diagnose. And today, this one, the story I got was I think it just stalled while driving, and then wouldn't crank back. And this thing does not crank back. If I come in here and push the start button, we just get this iKey system error message, and the cluster doesn't actually come on, but the radio does come on. It does say climate control off. I don't know if I've got that turned off or not, but the radio, let's see. So the radio does come on and work, but the car doesn't actually do anything. And on our pre-scan here that I got, we've got a lot of things that doesn't communicate. We do have the ECM, BCM, IPDM, TCM all communicating. TPMS, I'm pretty sure that's built in with the BCM, I think. Maybe something else, but we've still got all this other stuff that doesn't communicate. So with multiple modules not communicating, my approach is always pick an easy one to get to and just start there. Do your basics, your power, your ground, and check your data lines. So that's what we're going to do with this thing, and hopefully we can figure out what's causing this issue. Alright, so with cases like this, I always say just start with a module that's easiest to get to. And in this case, our power steering here is not communicating with the scan tool, and it's pretty easy to get to. So let's just start with doing our basics. Power, ground, data at the module here, and see what we can come up with. So got my handy dandy pocket screwdriver. We're going to pop this off. And then we're just going to check for power and ground right here with voltmeter and a test light. So just using a small filament on this. I just want to see if I've got any kind of power here. If I can get this to stay somewhere. And luckily, Nissan, in their infinite wisdom, said, let's make both of these white wires so we know exactly which ones are power and ground.
Is that why it's an infinite system?
Yeah. So these needles are way smaller than these terminals, so they're not going to spread anything. But as you can see, we don't have any power. So now let's follow the diagram. Where does this thing get power and where is it ground? And we can quickly check our ground. We can just go to the engine block here. So no power there. Go to this one and no power there either. So we obviously don't have power here. So let's just follow that on our wiring diagram and find out where we get this 100 amp power. It says it's at the battery, but we've got this fuse, so we need to check that fuse. Okay, at the battery here, we've got this fuse link. If we come in here, we can look and see. Let me get this off of here. We've got, oh, that cover fell off, but we've got all of these fuses right here. And all of those look good, but this one right here is not good. That one is blown. So connect that back up. We can check with our meter here. We can see that on the battery post we've got power, but on this stud we do not have power because this fuse is blown. And that stud also, you can kind of see how it's going to go through this fuse to the stud to this little bus bar to these two fuses right here. So anything powered from these two fuses is not going to have power. And I'm going to bet this white wire probably goes to the power steering, and this blue wire probably supplies power to other stuff in the car that's not working. So we need a fuse, but we also need to figure out why the fuse blew. Okay, so I've got the fuse cover off. You can kind of better see that that is blown right there. That is not connected. So we need to check it for a short to make sure if we replace this fuse, it's not going to immediately blow. So I'm going to use a 10 amp test light. This is like a H13 bulb, I think it is, with both filaments tied together. So that's going to be right at 9.5-ish amps. So one side is on my battery post here. So if I connect the other side here, if this glows really, really bright, really fast, that means this is going to be drawing about 10 amps of current to make this thing turn on. So if it does, that may be a good indicator that we've got a blown fuse or a short to ground. But let's connect this here. There we go. So it did spark a little bit, but as you can see, this filament's not doing anything, and the wiper blades just decided to turn on. So this is telling me it does not have a short to ground, and if we check it with voltmeter, you can see, oh, that did just glow just a little bit. You can see on the voltmeter we got about 13 volts. So that means there's not a whole lot of current flowing through that until the wipers turn on, and then it does glow a little bit. Let me turn the wiper blades off. Well, let's see. Off. So now we're actually supplying power to the car. Well, I thought I had that turned off, and we can actually see when we scan now, we're going to actually get some communication happen with these other modules. See, now we got cluster. Sorry, this is getting windy. But if we go in the car, we can also see the dash is on now. We've got our dash on. Our wipers are still trying to turn on for some reason. Maybe that's got it turned off. The climate controls were actually on. I come in and turned them off. But we got dash on now. Our cluster is on. So now it's just kind of looking like we got to figure out what caused that fuse to blow. But on the pre-scan, we're definitely getting some communication with stuff that we didn't have before. Don't have power steering because I've got it unplugged. I'm afraid if I plug it up, it may make that glow. This thing is probably going to draw some current, possibly. Okay, good. No, we're fine. So right now, we need to figure out what caused that fuse to blow. But we've definitely restored our communication with the modules in the car, and it's looking like an easy one so far. Okay, so using my test light to basically act as a fuse, I was able to basically rescan the whole car. Everything's now talking. There's nothing that's setting any codes. I was able to clear all the codes. So essentially the car is happy right now, but we're still left with what blew the fuse. And the only thing that I can logically think in my head is the car stalled going down the road was what they said, and then wouldn't start back. So I'm kind of thinking probably the motor locked up going down the road, and then when it tried to re-crank, the starter drew too much current and popped the fuse. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to do something that is not advised at all, and I'm going to stick a wire in the fuse to make the circuit complete. We're just going to try to crank the car and see what happens. But my bet is it's not going to crank. We could probably just stick a bar on the crank pulley and try to rotate the motor first, but it's not very fun. So I'm just going to stick this in here, and I'm going to have Megan try to crank the car while I have this. That way, if I do tell that it's locked up, I can just pull this out and not cause any damage. Yeah, go ahead. Yep. That's it. She's locked up. So why did I do that instead of just going to the crank pulley and turning it? Well, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of room to get it from the top here, and to try to get it from the side, you could just barely make out the edge of the crank pulley right there. Let me get y'all in here. So yeah, trying to get in here to that thing out here, and yeah, it's not very easy, but I'm pretty confident this thing's got a locked up motor now. Now, since I know y'all are going to want to see it, I've got a breaker bar on here, and yeah, it's not budging. So she's toast. So on this Infiniti QX60, seems like this one's taking a page out of Hyundai Kia's page book and or playbook, and decided to lock a motor up. So this customer is going to need a fuse and an engine. And I know a lot of you are going to say, you got to take the belts off, you know, check that. No, not really. The customer said it stalled going down the road. So if something in the drive belt locked up, every time I've seen something in the drive belt lock up while the vehicle is actively driving, it shreds the belt. The belt's going to be gone. The belt's on this thing. It's not burn up or anything like that. So I'm 100% confident, even taking the drive belt off of this thing, this motor is locked up. So the only other thing you can do is check the oil. Well, let's go ahead and just pull this out, check the oil. And looks like it's halfway. I know that's not going to focus very well. Come on, there we go. So looks like it's halfway. It's a little black, but doesn't look terrible. So yeah, they got a locked up motor. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys later.